welcome back to our channel. So in the previous session we have seen one way to read the input from the keyboard at the runtime in Java programming, that is by using scanner class. And in this session let's have a look on the second method, that is buffered reader. See, so here this buffer reader, we can read input from either a keyboard or by using a file. That means we need a file with some data, and from that file we can directly access the data by using this buffer reader. See, this buffer reader is used to read the characters, reads the characters from the input stream, from the character input stream. Right? So as we know, there are three input streams, IO streams, that is system.in, system.out and system.err. Right? So coming to this system.in, so here we can read a byte by byte information by using that system.in. So here there is one more class to read all the bytes and to decode it into the characters. So before applying this buffered reader, the input stream reader class will read the bytes and it will decode it into the some character set. So there is one more class, input stream reader. So it will read bytes and decode it to character set. So from this character set we can use this buffered reader, right? So this is done with the help of the input stream system.in. This is done by means of with the help of system.in, which is the standard IO stream. And there is one more class to read the data from the file, that is file reader. So just go through the naming conventions. We have discussed that every class name should start with a capital letter and every second word in the class name also should start with a capital letter. So here input stream reader is a capital letter, file reader is input stream reader is a class, and a file reader is also a class. So in the class, the first word input I capital, stream second word, S capital, reader third word, R capital. Here also file, F capital, R capital. Similarly, there is one more class. So file reader, it is used to read the data from files, right? So this is used to read the data from files. So this is the first step we have to do, and all these bytes which are taken from this system.in or from files will be buffered. That means a collection of information will be buffered, and through this buffer we will use this buffer reader to read the data. So this is the buffer where the data is saved, right? So all the data, all the information, all the input which is taken from the system.in as well as from files, everything will be buffered, and by using this buffer reader we can access the data from this buffer. So buffered reader class. So here also buffered reader is a class. So in the buffered reader, the first word buffered B capital and reader R capital. So hope you understood. This is the first step we have to do, and this is the second step we have to do. So in order to read an input by using this buffered reader, first we have to read the bytes from the keyboard or from the files, and it should be converted into a character set. So by means of these two classes, input stream reader and the file reader. And once all the data is buffered, we can use this buffered reader class to access the data from the buffer. So we can access this buffer by using an object, right? So in the previous session we have said any class cannot invoke the methods. So a class cannot invoke the methods. So in order to invoke the methods or access the methods, we have to create an instance of that class, that we call it as an object. So first we have to create an object, then through that object we have to access the methods. So let us see one by one. What is the syntax? So once again I am saying input stream reader class, this is used to read the bytes from the system.in, standard input. And file reader is used to read the bytes of information from existing files. So here there is a question of if you are accessing the data from the file which doesn't exist, right? So if you are accessing the data from the file which doesn't exist, then it will raise an exception. So here always we have to include an IO exception while implementing this BufferedReader class. So by using this BufferedReader, we can read an input from keyboard and file. So if it is a file, so if we are accessing the data from the file which doesn't exist, one exception will be raised. So we have to throw an exception while using this BufferedReader. So that exception is called IO exception. So here IOE, all the three are capital letters. IO exception, input output exception. So this exception will be raised when an error in reading the input or printing the output. So hope you understood. So this BufferedReader class is available in IO package. IO package. So if you are implementing this BufferedReader, we have to import java.io.star, or simply we can write java.io.inputStreamReader or java.io.bufferedreader. So both the packages we have to import. So avoiding two statements, we can write it in a single statement that import java.io.star. So whatever the classes available in IO, all the classes can be accessed in our program. So all these classes will be available in IO package. Right. See. So this is the first step and this is the second step. Let us take it. Now let us see what are the methods available in BufferedReader. Right. So BufferedReader will read only the characters. Reads characters or strings. Or this is strings. So except the characters and strings, it will not read any input. So I mean integers or floats. So before using the integer value, we have to read the character and then we have to type convert that into a integer. See. So what is the methods? So method read and read line. So there are two methods available in the BufferedReader class to read the input. One is read line. So read, it reads a single character. It reads a single character. And if we want to read multiple characters, then we have to use this read line. It reads multiple characters. Simply we can say it as a string. So read line is used to read a string. So how to implement this read line? So by using the object, and before using them, we have to typecast the string to integer. So for typecasting, we had a method called parseInt, right? And in order to implement this parseInt, we have to use with the class integer dot parseInt of this particular method. Similarly, float dot parseFloat. So as I said, this is a method. The first character always will be a small lowercase character, and the first letter of the next word will be the capital. So parseInt I capital, parseFloat F capital. And in order to implement this method, we have to access this method by using this class name. So float.parseFloat, parseInt, integer.parseInt, and here we have to access this read or readLine methods. So we'll write a program so that you can understand. Right. So in order to read the data by using this buffered reader, first let us use the system.in, then we can use with the files. Okay, system.in. So for this, first we have to access or read the data by using the input stream reader. So input stream reader, right? Some IR is an object. IR is equal to the new keyword input stream reader. From where? From the keyboard. So system.in. So this is the syntax to read the bytes and convert into the character set by means of this IR. So input stream reader IR is equal to new input stream reader system.in. So from the keyboard, the bytes will be converted into characters and it will be accessed through IR object. Now in the second step, we have to read the character set data from the buffer. So that can be done by using BufferedReader. So BufferedReader class space some BR. So this is an object name, and as I said that the object names can be anything. So it's a programmer wish. So BR is equal to new BufferedReader. So from where we have to read the data? From this object IR. So here IR, from the keyboard the data is given to the IR, and from the IR we are by using this BR method, BR object, we are accessing the data. Let it be integer. If we want to read an integer, so int a is equal to, so by default it will be the character, so we have to typecast. So for the typecasting, we have to use the integer class dot parseInt of, we have to access the method. Which method? Read or readLine. So that method is available in BufferedReader, and BufferedReader class cannot directly access the methods of read or readLine. So in order to access the read or readLine methods which are available in BufferedReader, that can be done only by means of this method created for this class. So BufferedReader class having the method, object BR. So by using this BR, we have to access the read or readLine. So here we can write BR dot readLine. So here again it's a method. So R is a small letter and L is a capital letter. In order to read a float B is equal to float dot parseFloat. Again we can write BR dot readLine. So a single method can read everything, because here we can read only the characters or strings, and it should be converted into integer or a float when it is required. And in order to read a string, simply we can write string str is equal to, directly we can read it, BR dot readLine. So here there is no type conversion, because by default it will read the string data. The input will be in a string data, right? So this is the simple thing to read the input from keyboard by using this IO stream, right? Now let us see the second method, that is reading the data from file. So here also the same thing. So everything is same, but the only thing is, in order instead of using this input stream reader, we have to use a file reader. See, in order to read this one from files, we can write file reader some fr is equal to new file reader. It's a class and a constructor, and here we have to give the location, right? So let it be my program is in some D drive, right? D drive, some in Java, right? In Java, and there is a file name as input.txt, right? Here I have to write the complete location of this file, So generally we will write d:/. Here the single slash will not be accessed, so if we want to implement this slash, we have to use a double slash. d:// Java, again double slash, what's the file name? input.txt. So enclose this location in double quotes, and the semicolon also must be there, right? So in the first step, from the input.text, the bytes will be read by using this fr object, and here we have to read the data from fr. Right? So here also we can read only the data in a character set. So we can directly read some string str is equal to br dot read line. So this will read the text from this file, input.txt file, and it will be assigned to the string. So directly we can print some system.out.println or print str. So this will directly print the data which is available in this input.txt to the screen. So this is one more method to read the data from files by using this BufferedReader class. So hope you understood this BufferedReader class. So by using this BufferedReader class, we can read the data from the keyboard as well as from the files. So if you are using the data, if you want to read the data from the keyboard, we have to use the input stream reader class, and if you are reading the data from the files, we have to use the file reader class, right? So let us write a program. So once again, if this file is not available, if this file, input file is not available in that location, it will raise an exception. So we have to write the exception also. So let us write a small program, class some buffer. So inside the class I have to write the main function. So public static void main string args. Here we have to throw an exception. Throws IO exception. IO exception. Now we can write input stream reader some IR is equal to new input stream reader system.in, and now from the IR we have to read the data by using the BufferedReader class. BufferedReader BR is equal to new BufferedReader from this IR object, from the IR object. Now write down int a is equal to class name dot parsing of br dot read line. Similarly, string S capital, remember that string str is equal to some br dot read line. Simply we can print system dot out dot println A. Similarly, system dot out dot println str. So you can close the main function and the class. So this is a simple program to read the data from the keyboard and print that on the screen, right? So hope you understood this one. Let us stop here. In the next session we will see the command line arguments, how to implement these command line arguments in Java programming. So if you really understood my sessions, like my sessions, and if you are having any doubts regarding this Java programming and particularly in this IO input output statements or functions, feel free to post your doubts in the comment section so that I will definitely try to clarify all your doubts, and share my sessions with your friends, and don't forget to subscribe to our channel. Thanks for listening. Thank you very much.